Hello, my friends. Welcome to Lean and Clean with Fitness Chef Christine. I'm Christine, your host, and the goal of today is we're going to keep talking about getting more veggie. So this whole series is going to be all about increasing the amount of vegetables that you take in during the day. So I thought we'd start out with one of my favorite breakfasts. I alluded to this in a different episode, but zucchini and eggs. Now you can use yellow squash if you like yellow squash, but zucchini isn't season right now, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and grate it, and I'm going to go ahead and grate it right into the pan. Do not worry about the excess liquid that comes from grating it, because if you've ever made scrambled eggs, you know that you can add water or milk to your scrambled egg, and they come out terrific. And in the morning, I don't want extra dishes, so get soup away without a doubt. All right, once you have gone ahead and gotten your zucchini done, so this over here, we're going to get that with some salt and some herbs. Turn on our heat. Maybe. Go. We're going to give it a little bit of olive oil. Some salt. A little white peppers. Now you can do this to taste. I have a pretty aggressive amount of white pepper, or you can use black pepper, your choice. I'm just not a fan of seeing black spots. We're just going to go ahead and saute that up. It will only take a minute or so because it is pretty finely ground up. Now, if you don't have a grater like I have, a hand grater works perfectly fine. Use what you have. At this point, you could also add some shaved sweet potato. You could do some yellow squash. You can do some onions. I've made it 1,000 different ways, and it's always fantastic. But today, we're just going to keep it very simple. All right, so we're going to need a couple of these beautiful farm eggs I got at the farmer's market. And this one, I'm going to use 3. You could use just egg whites if that's your preference. But I find that these beautiful yolks are just fantastic. All right, we're going to scramble them right into that zucchini. So you don't even need to pre-scramble or anything. We are going to add 1 small tablespoon of cottage cheese. That's going to make it a little more fluffy. And it will help also with the texture. We're just going to keep on trucking with this thing. We'll turn it up just a little bit. And let's talk some options. I always put in some cheese. So we have some sharp cheddar. I have some Swiss cheese. And this one is a pepper jack. So any one of those will work. Today I'm going to use the pepper jack because I like that little bit of spice with your zucchini. You don't have to use any cheese at all if you don't want to. But for me, I think it adds great flavor. And again, that little bit of moisture from the zucchini is going to help it remain nice and creamy. Okay, at this point, it's starting to wilt down, so we know that we're okay to add our eggs. We're going to go ahead and add those eggs and just scramble them in. No big deal if you want to scramble them ahead of time, you do you, not a problem at all. Just going to go ahead and come around and make sure that well scrambled that with that zucchini so that every bit of that zucchini get that nice on a piece. And then we just let it set. And we'll slowly begin to stir around as it gets a little bit more moisture. And then once it starts to curdle, that's when we're going to go ahead and add our cheese in. Because then we know that it's not gooey from the egg, it's gooey from the cheese itself. So it's just starting to do that on the bottom. I'm going to stirring it, and as it curdles, we'll add that cheese. We're going to keep on. Now we've got our little bit of curdling going on. And we're going to go ahead and add 3 little squares of this cheese. You don't need a lot. I prefer the squares versus the pre-shredded cheese because I don't want all that starchiness that they coat the cheese with. And now I'm just going to turn that heat on and just let the residual heat melt the cheese. It just takes a second. Yeah, got a plate. And it's ready to serve up. Just like that. Now, Obviously, you can still see the zucchini in there, trying to find it from your children. You can actually puree the zucchini before you put it in there and call it green eggs and ham. And it'll have just a tiny little bit of green, but it's fun to trick them. My grandson has no problem eating it this way. He doesn't even realize there's any vegetables in there. Trick your family into eating more vegetables and start with this back to come back. One of the easiest ways to add veggies to your meals or to your life is making smoothies. I can see it, and everybody loves the flavor. So let's do this one. I've got some unsweetened almond milk. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to add 1 scoop of protein powder. This is a chocolate protein powder. This is Juice Plus chocolate protein powder. But I also like it with Veggies. So you choose what you like. Anyone will work. We're going to put a nice tablespoon of dark cocoa powder in there. You can leave that out if you don't like it really dark. This is Hershey Special Dark. Sugar free. And then we're going to add half of zucchini, chunks there, and a half of a banana. You could add the whole zucchini if you like. That's up to you. It just gives it a nice creaminess. You don't actually taste it at all. It's very neutral flavor. And then we're going to add a half a cup of wine that's frozen in triple berry. Right? Because that's going to give it that extra boost of flavor that we're looking for, along with the chocolate flavor. So we're going to blend all this up with some ice. Okay. Conquer ice. And I'm going to save your eardrums from having to listen to it blend. And I'll show you what it looks like. I promise, even my non-zucchini vegetable loving friends will like this one. If you find you need it to be a little sweeter, you can add some honey to it, some maple syrup, or some agave nectar. It is delicious. If you are not a fan of zucchini and you can never see yourself putting it in there, try some frozen cauliflower. It works just as well. Again, it's going to add creaminess with no flavor. I do find that the zucchini is a little easier on your digestive system, so I suggest you start there. Yellow squash works as well. It's got a really nice creamy chocolatey flavor. So give it a shot. What's the worst thing that could happen? You don't like it, but you get some extra vegetables in there. All right, my loves. So just like we use with the scrambled eggs, it's protein and vegetables. Keep with me. I'm going to show you a couple more things. Time to make some yummy zucchini fritters. First, I grated up 1 giant zucchini. So we need about 3 cups. So whether you use a couple small or 1 large, doesn't matter. And I grated up 1 onion. So a Vidalia onion. We're going to put that in there. I salted it. I let it sit for 10 minutes. And now we're going to drain out all the water because you want it dry so that it doesn't add too much liquid to the batter. And let me tell you, you get a lot of water out of the zucchini. Now you can actually save that water and use it in bread making to add a little extra flavor. Because, I don't really like to waste anything. Even though it has a tiny bit of salt, not much. Oh. And I use Celtic sea salt, so it's got a good amount of minerals in there. All right, so 2 hours zucchini. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to add 5 tablespoons of flour, 1/2 cup to 1/4 cup, 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. I like it really cheesy, so I use 1/2 cup. But if you are cheese sensitive, you might want to pull back a little bit. We're going to use some pepper and about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Remember that Parmesan cheese has salt as well, and has salt in the zucchini, so you don't want to overdo it. About 1/4 teaspoon is about the right amount. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and then we're going to toss our zucchini in it. Okay. And I always like to crack my eggs, even though I use a ton of eggs. I like to crack it into a bowl first and then add it to whatever I'm using, because if it cracks just in there, it's harder to fish them out. Once well, we're just going to mix all that together. If it's too dry, we're going to add a little bit of that zucchini water in there. So add just a touch of that zucchini water until we have a fatter consistency. Good. And it's going to look a little thick. That is perfectly normal. I'm going to add back that zucchini. Zucchini is still fairly wet. So we're just going to go ahead and fold that in. Use your hands. Don't be afraid of your hand. Just going to get all that in there. And then I'm going to move all this out of the way and bring my cooktop back. And then we'll fry these up. I'll show you what they look like. All right, put them on 3 minutes on the first side. I flipped them over. We're just coming up on the end of the 3rd minute on the other side. Obviously, it depends on the heat of your oil and how thick you made your patties. Like that's about right. That's what we're looking for. Is just that little bit of golden brown. The finale. And if it falls apart, don't worry about it. Wait till that starts together. Not a big deal. Once you put that Parmesan cheese back on and you put it in the oven, it'll come right together. In the essence of time, I'm going to put all of the batter in for the next ones. We're just going to make one giant one. Now, to put the giant one, I will have a plate on top of it. And then I'll invert the whole plate and slide it back on. That is the method to my madness. I'll show you what it looks like. We're just going to put a little bit of that cheese on top. I'm going to part those bad boys right in the oven until this one's ready, and I'll put that in the oven as well. And let me tell you, it is delicious. So I hope you'll give that a try. And I will be back with some more recipes again, getting all those veggies in. All right, my lovely, let me know what you think of these recipes. Make sure that you leave a comment. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you let me know how your journey's going, right? We are always striving to eat more veggies, get our fiber in there, eat our protein in every meal, making sure that we move every day, making sure that we hydrate, and we're really concentrating on that good fuel. All right, my loves, stick with me. I'll see you again soon.